Ladies and gentlemen, I'm a little pissed off today because I keep getting the same comment over and over. You guys think you're so smart, telling me, hey, Steven, your door's backwards. It looks like you're standing outside of your office, not inside of your office. Hey, you guys haven't even seen the $10 million studio yet. I mean, you guys have to listen up. Every single episode, you can hear the faint sound. Here, I'll turn up the volume. You hear that? That's the sound of construction for the $10 million studio going on. So yeah, actually, I've been just sitting outside my office this entire time. People pass by all the time. You wonder why I have so many jump cuts. It's because people start walking by. So next time, before you guys give me lip, let me do the work. So all part of the plan. We're going to show you the $10 million studio very shortly. In fact, I'm going to give you a sneak preview at the end of this video. But before any of that happens, sorry, we got to take these off. I want to tell you guys a story about Diabetes Island. This is brought to you by our good friends at ClickBank. Let's watch.
Tell your children and husband you love them and say your goodbyes, said the doctor. You will be in a diabetic coma very soon, and I don't know what will happen next. Terrified and barely conscious, my wife looked over at our two kids standing outside as he showed us the test results. My normal blood sugar reading was 120. Hers was 488.
What? Watch the show. I'm not ready to comment on it yet. Hold on.
My badass wife, the boss of our family, a proud lady who would shut up anyone brave enough to give her lip. Trembling, cold, and white as a sheet. 30 short minutes. That was all he was giving my dear wife Kathy before she would fall into unconsciousness. As she lay in the cold steel hospital bed, contemplating the most depressing future she could imagine, I felt ashamed. Anger at God for inflicting this pain and misery on such a beautiful, caring, loving woman.
Hang on, don't bring God into this. Your wife's in a diabetic coma. God didn't put the ho-hos in her hand. I mean, what do you want me to tell you? So back up, sorry, he pissed me off.
You see, despite what you've been told, your uncontrolled blood sugar and increasing belly fat has nothing to do with how many sugars or carbohydrates you eat, how much exercise you do, what medications you take, or even genetics or the aging process.
This man's out here overturning everything we know about diabetes. Not due to food, not due to exercise, not even due to aging or genetics. What? What could it be?
But it is instead all down to a little known but highly dangerous toxin found on every corner of Earth.
Oh, of course, it's the little known secret. How could I have not guessed? It's never diet and exercise. That's never the answer to any health problems on ClickBank. What was I thinking? Didn't I know it was the little known secret? But what is that secret?
But there is an answer by using a simple 60-second habit twice a day, known only to the inhabitants of a small, barely populated Aegean island.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. This is where we come to Diabetes Island. Diabetes Island is a special place in the hearts of this man. But first of all, who is this man?
Hello, my name is Eric Whitfield. I'm an iron worker. My wife Kathy and I live in Owego, New York, and I'm 53 years old.
He's a salt of the earth man, a blue-collar man. He's the kind of man that wouldn't lie to you.
I've been a hardworking guy all my life, scaling skyscrapers and even done some ship fitting in my day.
Ship fitting? He's a ship fitting man.
Believe it or not, I was even part of the cleanup crew sent to the ground zero after 9/11.
Oh, come on! Isn't it enough to lie to everyone? Do you have to bring 9/11 into it? I probably could have guessed that, honestly, if you'd given me some options. He's a ship-fitting man. Of course, he was on the cleanup crew of 9/11. In fact, he was also part of the SEAL Team 6 raid on Osama bin Laden. That's the kind of man this man is.
Words are just so inadequate to try and share with you what I saw and felt during those long, awful days. You really understand what it means to come under attack. And do you know something? That's happening to our bodies each and every day.
Did this man just try to compare diabetes to a terrorist attack? He's like, I know what it's like to be under attack from plane hijacking terrorists. You know what else is a plane hijacking terrorist? Your blood cells. Driving it right into the twin towers of your aorta.
Fortunately for you, a bizarre chain of events handed me the weapon I needed to defeat this invisible diabetes-causing toxin for good and save my wife's life.
Dude, if this were actually a true story, which obviously I'm sure you guys know by now, it's not. This would be the greatest movie ever told. They'd make a Hollywood movie every year from this and then remake that movie every single year. This would be the greatest story of all time if this were true. But you know what is true? This guy hates the belly fat that this diabetes caused. He found it disgusting. He keeps bringing it up in the story.
She piled on more and more weight. She went from the energetic motivator to sluggish and overweight. Within the space of just 4 years, Kathy's weight had ballooned from a relatively healthy 160 pounds to a massive 216.
Yeah, you can't talk about your wife that way. Don't use the word massive as an adjective. By the way, let's have a look at those little before and after, shall we?
Going from this to a slim and sexy 160 pounds.
Because all of a sudden when the magic diet is tried, we get a before and after that seem a little sus. Computer, enhance. Something about those faces seems suspicious. First of all, nothing in her face changed. Kathy has the remarkable ability to maintain the exact same face shape, even after going from a massive 216 pounds to a relatively healthy 160 pounds. So of course, you know me, I had to look into it. And what do you know? Somebody else actually did the work for me. Contra Health Scam shout out. They discovered that this lady had been photoshopped from another weight loss journey. This is the real lady. Her name is Kristen W. And she won a little prize for losing the most weight. And they took this poor lady and they photoshopped her and photoshopped a new face on her to give her the face of a 9/11 man's wife, right? But let's suspend our disbelief and continue with this journey of Eric Whitfield. He's on a quest to discover the true cause, the hidden secret they don't want you to know about.
I'd left online posts on forums and message boards.
He's all on like 4chan or 8chan asking Q what the secret to diabetes is.
I got a reply from a man we will call Kevin. Over a call, he revealed to me the 3 closely guarded and biggest lies of the diabetic industry. And this is the big diabetes lie number 1. Lowering blood sugar will reverse diabetes. Next, Kevin revealed big diabetes lie number 2. This one shocked me. Exercise helps reverse diabetes.
Like, this guy's just lying to you. I mean, I hope everyone knows that. And giving out harmful information. Exercise actually does help. Also, he can sell you a stupid product.
If medications, exercise, and carb restrictions had done nothing and would never do anything to help Kathy's diabetes, then what could help? Sadly, Kevin didn't have the answer.
And that's when he discovered Diabetes Island.
And I was close to giving up, and that's when I discovered something that chilled me to the bone.
Oh, sorry. We got to get into the super dramatic story before we get into that. Hold on one second.
I'm embarrassed to share this with you, but I feel I have to. Using Kathy's laptop, one night I stumbled onto some of her Google searches. Best way to kill yourself, said one query.
Hey, lady, just cut back on the Twinkies a little bit. You don't have to go that way. We all eat a few too many quarter pounders from time to time. Just chill out. Eat a salad. It's not going to kill you.
I had no idea Kathy was feeling that low. I was desperate to help her, but I didn't know how. But that very night, I received a phone call that would change everything. That call came from my boss. I had gotten an offer earlier that week for a big project over in Greece. Right after my long flight, I'm introduced to the team of guys I was supervising, a group of 19 men from all over Greece. Among those was Alexander Duka and 7 other guys who came to work on the project from their home on a tiny Greek island called Halki.
Welcome. We finally come full circle. Jeez, these things are so long.
As the weeks went on, I came to realize these 8 guys who were all in their mid-50s didn't have diabetes or even a single symptom of it. They were slim, healthy, and full of energy.
Yeah, maybe it's because they're outside working.
Back home, I didn't know of one person over 50 who didn't have diabetes, let alone 8 of them. So that night, I took Alex to one side and told him all about my wife's conditions. Alex smiled, patted me on the shoulder, and told me to wait where I was. A few minutes later, he returned with a notepad and a pencil and began to scribble down what looked like a recipe. "What's this?" I asked, looking down at the list. "The secret you've been searching for," he said with a glint in his eye.
You see, Eric, I'm a wizard.
"Our health is all down to the food we eat," he continued mysteriously.
It's not that mysterious. But a second ago, you were saying diet doesn't have anything to do with diabetes. Which is it, Eric? Come on now.
"Eat these foods and your wife will recover." With that, Alex stood up, gave me a knowing smile, and got back to work. Only then did I remember that Alex and his friends always made those homemade dressings with their lunch and dinner, sometimes even as a snack.
That's right. The secret's dressings they're going to teach you how to make for a small fee. But look, if you think that's already gone to a conspiracy level, just wait.
Now stay with me here because this is where it gets very interesting. Particulate matter, also known as PM 2.5, is a complex mixture of extremely small particles and liquid droplets. They are emitted by fuel burning and various industrial sources, but then get into the air and are inhaled. It's pretty scary, right? You see, this is the real cause of your diabetes. We know it's not because of your diet or how much exercise you do. Your health has been deteriorating because of the invisible PM 2.5, which has been seeping into your bloodstream for decades.
Get your tinfoil hats on, boys, because Alice ain't seen nothing yet.
Remember this graph. We see diabetes started around the 1940s. Now look at this graph of PM 2.5 levels over time. Look familiar? Notice the rapid incline at 1940 matches exactly when diabetes spiraled out of control.
Oh, come on. Eric, no, don't do that to us. Don't give us the correlation equals causation argument, please. You guys ever seen the cheese conspiracy before? Hey, check this out. Cheese consumption is apparently correlated with people who died by becoming tangled in their bedsheets. Coincidence? Is it a coincidence that when people eat more cheese, they get strangled in their bedsheets? I think not.
Yeah, it really was making sense now, and guess what? While the level of pollution in Greece was one of the highest in the world, far higher than the US, I found out that they actually had one of the lowest levels of diabetes.
Hey, boss, we found out that our hypothesis is severely undercut by the fact that Greece has way higher pollution levels than anywhere else. What should we say? Oh, it just must be the dressings that are so powerful.
It must be because of these traditional dressings and the ingredients that make them up.
But the actual crazy thing is these guys conveniently fail to mention that PM 2.5 emissions, they cut the graph off at 2006, conveniently because they've actually been falling in recent years. So their little theory doesn't line up when diabetes goes up and PM 2.5 goes down. They've literally cut off the graph right when it disproves their theory completely, because instead of actually telling the truth, they want to spin up a crazy conspiracy theory to endanger you so they can make money. Brought to you by the guy who's stealing valor from first responders at 9/11. Jeez. Anyways, I think that's a happy way to wrap it up. Needless to say, don't ever follow these idiots' advice or really anything you see on ClickBank. That's all for now. I think you guys have really earned this sneak peek that I'm about to show you of the $10 million studio. Please enjoy. Thanks for watching. And as always.
And don't forget to smash like and subscribe. Thank you.